The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jeannie Von Esch. Welcome to Hidden City, or Chicago edition. I'm going to start it off with Spotter because why not?
Why not? Hey, everyone. I'm Antera, and tonight I will be playing Spotter the Nosferatu.
Let me unmute. Hey, everybody. I am Mama McStabber, and I am playing Dr. Taylor Hammond of Clan Bruja.
Hello, everyone. I'm I'm John Lee Bauer, playing Dr. Magnus Sanchez of Clan Gangrel.
And hi, I'm Maddox, and I'll be playing Dr. Theodore Smith, Clan Tremere.
A lot of things happened. A lot of things are going on. Let's start off right now with Spotter and Taylor, and then we'll go over to Magnus and Theo. So Spotter and Taylor, why don't you start us off?
All right. So, Spotter, where has Taylor met you to go down into the Undercity?
Why don't we meet at the park?
Okay.
At the park, like there's that building where they have the markets.
Yeah.
And during the day.
Yeah. She'll meet you there then.
Okay.
So she pulls up on her motorcycle and has her bag with her and says, "All right, Spotter, we ready to go?"
We are.
Okay, fantastic.
Where are we going?
We're gonna head down towards the actual Wicker Park. There's a building about 2 blocks up from it that had something in the Undercity, but it's blocked off above ground. I want to see if we can see it from underneath.
Yeah. Wonder why it's blocked off. Anyways, yeah, we can take a look.
Okay.
Good. How was Prague?
Prague. It was Prague, but the project's going really well. The students are doing fantastic. Yeah. Also, brought something back with me that I'm going to have to look into because it's really fucking weird and it counters so much shit I have found before. So I need to really verify this shit. And Karlak was
Black?
shockingly, he's actually trying to, and we're talking as we're moving through.
Yeah.
Literally, I think he's aware Vasily has been freed. I don't think he knows by whom, but he has been buckling down and kind of like reinforcing and securing his praxis and his influence. He did summon me to court. And when he did so, he basically told me he wanted to bury the hatchet and start over and maybe be friends. I informed him that I didn't hate him, but I feel nothing.
Right. I mean, it goes without saying, but he wants something.
Of course he does, and he's not getting it. He did tell me that he's no longer having me watched when I arrive in the city and leave. And I don't really care either way, because I don't plan on going back to his city. I actually plan to meet up with Lena at the dig site from here on out, and which is outside of Prague and his domain. And so basically, yeah, he kind of told me that, he seemed to be reticent and remorseful, but I was just like, what, are you actually growing now? And, I don't care.
You've seen the Horse and Pony show before.
Yes, I have. And I'm not buying tickets for it again.
No.
Yeah. So then, but he just asked me before I left if I would let him know if I came, when I came back to his city, and I didn't agree to that at all. I just told him to have a good night and left.
Confounding him for centuries, probably.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. It's hilarious.
How have things been here?
Relatively quiet.
Good.
They haven't. Joliet's been. I think they're buckling down. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Well, I
because
know
they knew their foil, their plot failed. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Karlak was aware of what happened to me.
okay,
Yeah.
good for him. Did he?
I would love to know who informed him. So talk to
Right.
your people. Find out who they might have told.
Sure,
Okay.
do that. Yeah.
Because the coterie and I'm sure some Nos knew about it. That should have been it.
Yep.
And I'm not going to immediately assume one of the Nos told him directly, but they might have said it to someone else that did.
Right. Don't think it was one of my guys, but
Yeah.
I can ask. I can sort that out.
Because he asked me about it.
Yeah.
I was not happy about that.
No. I mean, I want to check in with you, but I didn't want to bug you either.
I appreciate that. I'm Hale. I'm here. I'm good. I have something to do, and that is Joliet.
That's right.
But
Got some work to dive into.
But I figure since we're waiting for the Thin Bloods to be ready to do their part,
Yeah.
I want to check this out.
Sure. Actually, I did have something while we're still going. I mean, I don't know where we are yet, but yeah. Remember the sword,
Yeah.
the Besaid blade?
Yeah.
He might be aware. He might have heard it. He might not. I don't know if it's a joke in the clan, but lately they've been calling me leader. Different words for that, but they've been. It's been happening more and more frequently.
Has it?
Yeah, and then when I went down to, with Dr. Smith to visit Lydia, you know Lydia? I don't think you met her, but
No, I don't know Lydia. Who is Lydia?
Lydia is the Tremere seer that lives in the city.
Oh, I never want to meet her.
Good. You don't have to.
Okay.
She loves where she is and she is happy.
Fantastic. I don't want to see her. Seeing shit for me? Not at all. Okay.
And she's blind, so there you go.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, no, I really don't want to meet her. No offense to her. I'm sure she's lovely.
She is lovely.
I'm sure
She's
she is, but I have no desire.
lovely. Yeah. And yeah, so when we went down there, she mentioned it too.
Did she?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm beginning to think they're not fucking with me. They may still be fucking with me, but,
Spotter, they're not fucking with you.
I know. I just feel
Denial
like
is a lovely place in Egypt, okay?
right. But it's just like, I feel like if I don't take it seriously, and
Well,
something happens.
yeah.
It's,
But look at what you've done so far.
Hmm?
There's a reason they're saying that about you, Spotter.
Okay.
When all this shit happened with the abomination, you immediately went into action. Immediately. You've been taking care of your people without even thinking about it.
It's true. It's not even a question.
Exactly. And when your people when they place that mantle upon your shoulders, it's because they trust you.
You're right.
I know I'm right. It happened to me.
Oh.
I didn't name myself Queen Hester or Queen of the East. It was my people.
Similar thing.
Yeah. I took care of the Bedouins.
Oh.
I helped them to reach peace agreements amongst warring tribes. I helped them to find a place to settle and to thrive when the Ottoman Empire was being incredibly harsh on them. I protected them.
Yeah.
They dubbed me queen. And yeah, you got to take that responsibility really seriously.
Yeah.
Because you have people relying on you.
And if I don't step up, then they will, I don't know.
No, if you don't, there's no don't step up. You've already stepped up.
True.
You already have, just by doing the work, and you just continue to do the work. See to the needs of your people. And you don't have to do everything yourself. Empower them to care for themselves.
Maybe that's what I'm doing with the new crew. Giving them tasks, giving them support.
Yeah. Be supportive, but encourage them to do for themselves.
Right.
And step in when you need to. That sword marked you. But it wasn't the sword that made you. You did.
That's something else I was worried about is like, if I can't just rely on that, it's not, I can't, if the sword's the authority, then I don't have any authority.
The sword isn't the authority.
Right.
It's just a symbol.
Right.
As you guys have been walking down, you've gone into the underground. You are slowly making your way through. As Spotter is walking, bioluminescence is doing its thing, responding back to him. It doesn't take you long until you find several bits of crumble, several bits of broken rock, limestone. It dates back sometime. It really hasn't seen light since the 1930s. And you're seeing a long stretch of this rubble.
Oh, is this what you were talking about?
Yeah. Above it is a strip of buildings. It's a single building that has businesses all in it. The business that has access to this area is now a club called Subterranean. Back in the day, I'm talking when I came here for the fair, that location was a brothel. It was a front for a Bahari garden, which was down here.
Or
Well, considering it's sealed off, I think it might be former. I'm not
Fair
sure when it fell. I wasn't here when it fell. But if there's anything left, I would like to salvage it if possible. If anything is still intact, I want to see if it can be restored. Because Subterranean is in the rack. It's in our domain. It's in an area that we don't have eyes on.
If there's a new garden in the area,
I can
eyes.
have eyes in that area.
Good thinking.
See? So that's why I wanted to check this out. But how the fuck do we get through this?
So Spotter's going to walk up to the block area. He's going to he's not ignoring Taylor, but he needs to focus. He's going to use, in a creative fashion, he's going to use sabotage to see what the layout is of how thick this is, what's above it. Just, he knows how to get through this, but he wants to make sure he's not bringing down everything else with it.
Give me what's an awareness, please and thank you.
Now, where are my dice? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 5. Oh, there we go. 2, 3, 4. 5.
5, you see with your very special Nosferatu eyes that the rubble looks like it was formed in like a fashion of a wall. Looks like there is actually a concave like dent into actually the ground.
Mhm.
The dent hit bedstone. So you're about maybe 20, 30 feet above the actual bedstone of Chicago right now,
Mhm.
because that's where everything has been forced. And it looks like, how to describe a last stand when there is only one body left? There's just one body. You can make that out. You don't know if it's male or female or anything. You just know that there is a body formed there. But you do see rubble all around them, almost like it's a cradle, like a pit. And then you see the rest of the rubble just kind of mowing over everything. Everything is a solid rock, except for it looks like maybe about 10 feet of rubble where this pit is.
And is there any other space behind it? Is it, so she mentioned it's like a former garden, and I wouldn't know the layout, but is there like beyond what is in front of us? Is there like a room, more rooms? Like,
this was the basement. This is where the water would have been for the garden upstairs. You will see as you're looking upwards from that pit, you will see that everything has been restructured. Everything's been blocked out, hidden. There might be a little bit of room, but all of that rubble has, pretty much buried everything. This was the last stand.
so kind of Taylor.
Yeah.
This is on purpose. This wasn't a collapse. And I don't know how to describe it because you can't see actually, you probably could see if you tried. But it's, I don't know how to tell you this, but there's something in there. And I point at us.
Really?
Yeah. It's like this, whatever reason whoever it is in there, all of this was put up around them.
Could do that.
All this stone? I mean, I have one guess, but I don't know why they would do it.
I want to do a role storyteller. I want to see if I can get some kind of insight on this structure, because now that I understand it's actually a structure and not just fallout. I imagine I would do more like an intelligence and maybe a science with an archaeology specialty.
Sure.
Okay. And I will rouse my intelligence as well.
Okay. Death Maracas, kids.
Yeah, that's 7.
So you're looking for structure.
I'm looking for, from an archaeological perspective, like how long ago, purpose, that kind of thing, because that's what archaeologists look at when they see a structure.
Yep. You will notice that the way that these fell, it was a defensive mechanism.
Okay.
It was a last stand.
Okay.
This was to protect and preserve. Wasn't a whim or anything, but you do notice that the way that the stones are fused together, that this was defensively put together so nobody can come from the outside and nobody from the inside can get out. But the way that he is describing it, that describing how it is, this is more of a preservation. This was, if anything doesn't survive, this is its last chance too.
When I see, based on surrounding land that may be down here, about how long ago this would have been done.
From how you can gauge not only the rubble, but the bits and pieces left, maybe an earring, maybe a little ticket, you can tell it's done in the 1930s. When exactly in the 1930s, no one can really say, but the where it is and where it's situated, the city was moving and changing in the 1930s, just after the World Exposition.
Yeah.
The World's Fair.
Of that year.
The World's Fair was between 1933 and 1934.
Yeah.
So
yeah, which that's not the one she came for. She came in the 1897.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So okay, so she's literally, you see her like touching the stones and going around the bottom layer and looking through the dirt at the base of the stones. And she actually takes some gloves out of her bag and picks up a few things, one of which is an earring. Another seems to be a piece of paper, like maybe a ticket.
And as you're looking at this, we're going to pause you guys for just a minute, because now we're going to Magnus and Theo. Where are you guys at?
We're going to meet up with Raspberry Pi. Or actually, I think we are coming into the meeting with Raspberry Pi.
Okay, and where is this exactly?
Actually, I need to ask you a question, Junie. Is Raspberry one of the ones that Magnus was able to employ, or is she still kind of a freelancer, does what she wants?
She freelances back and forth. When you ever need something, she's usually up there to help.
And is it just Raspberry, or is Miss Giovanni joining us as well?
Would you like Miss Giovanni to show up?
I feel like if we're getting thin bloods, considering she was the thin blood that brought a lot of this shit to our attention, I feel it'd be criminal to leave her out.
Sure. They'll just smooth criminal their way in. It's fine. Are we meeting at your place, or where are you guys particularly?
Yeah, one of the clinics that's,
Yeah. So they're just casually waiting for you all to show up, because they can show up whenever they want. Thank you, daywalkers.
So Magnus walk in, and
actually, Theo would stop and look around for a second, because he's never been in any of your clinics before.
Okay. They're set up like they've got comfortable chairs. They're not like new or like, but they're comfortable places for people to wait if they need to wait. Kind of an open area. There's a place off to the side with like books and stuff, just in case there are kids or anything that needs some entertainment. And then there's the place with the where the nurses, and the receptionists take people's paperwork and stuff like that, and a door into the back. And Magnus just kind of waves Theo in, head into the back, and you can see there's examination rooms and, also one that's just basically a surgery theater.
Theo takes a few seconds to appreciate that one.
Mm-hmm. And then past that, there are other rooms in the back that are stock rooms, and then a few that are unlabeled. And Magnus just pushes open the door to one of the unlabeled rooms and walks in.
And Junie, you said that Miss Giovanni and Miss Pie are just sort of chilling there already.
They're waiting in the reception room. They kind of just wanted to see the layout, see how y'all act before they actually announce themselves. Kind of getting out how Kendra kind of roll.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, a nurse will come back and say, "Do you have two ladies that need to see you? They look completely healthy."
Yeah,
But
bring them back here.
no, I was going to bring them back there. Okay, give me a minute. And
Wow, your front desk lady is sassy.
Yeah, she kind of gets that way.
and both ladies come walking in. They're kind of like chit-chatting in their own like lingo as they're walking in, and they just kind of wave at you guys, and they kind of switch things, or they kind of take their phone, each other's phones for a moment, put in some information, and then switch them back. So sorry, we were talking business. Hi.
Hello.
What can we do
So,
for you?
well, Miss Giovanni, I wanted to speak to you because you seem to kind of represent the Thin Bloods in Joliet, and Raspberry kind of coordinates everyone in the city. So,
Yeah, we've been. I got this one. Yeah, we were totally working on this because apparently she's got a whole ebb and flowy thing, and we have an ebb and flowy thing, so we're kind of flowing together and vibing. Hi.
well, I've been speaking with the werewolves. You're aware there's an entire, what was the term they used? Sept. It's basically like a gathering of a bunch of different packs of them in Joliet.
Raspberry shakes her head. Giovanni nods. Like she knows, but yeah, you don't mix kitties with dogs, and why would you want to play with a puppy? And Raspberry's just like, do we bring milk bones?
No.
Ah, damn.
From what I understand, you
Steak,
shouldn't do that for
probably good.
regular dogs either.
Yeah, it's not very good for them. Steaks, though. Steaks, they seem a bit partial to steak. Some well-cooked wings.
Steak or steak?
No, like
The second one.
the second one.
Wait, can we barbecue for them?
Not all of them. Some of them will try to destroy you on principle.
Those ones
Cool.
are not the ones we're talking about. The ones
Eat
we're
'em and
talking about
get
will put up
destroyed.
with me.
I'm just
So-
saying, don't get comfortable around them just because they would be friendly. It's not worth it because the werewolves that you next meet won't be.
Kind of like you guys.
Only trust the ones that you actually know, and only trust them so far.
And maybe have been introduced to by others.
Yes.
They just look at each other, and then they look back at you and just nod like, okay.
So, yes, like us. But the reason I was talking to them was because we talked last week about potentially the Thin Bloods and Kaitif taking over as the ones in charge of Joliet.
They just look to each other and nod.
The werewolves would be willing to work with you on that. They have some terms, but they'd be willing to work with you on that.
Okay. We can deal with that.
And should this plan go off with the protocol we're at least expecting it to, all it will cost Joliet is 2 churches.
Mm-hmm.
2 churches.
2 churches, yes.
What does that
Conveniently
mean?
located across the street from each other.
Oh, sorry. There's a lot of churches in Joliet, so you gotta kind of slightly narrow that down.
There's a lot of
please.
churches everywhere. Even if I did narrow it down, it would have taken you a moment.
Listen here, I'm not the one who's looking over your shoulder and reading your notes.
I
Wow.
never said I was. or that
Oh,
I
I'm not-
had to.
I'm not
Tremere
crawled up in your...
Tremere can read any paper within 5 feet of them. Don't you know this?
No.
I would very much love to roll manipulation subterfuge to see if she can believe that storyteller.
Oh, absolutely. Go for it, because I'm now going to roll against you.
Because yes, the Tremere is screwing with her.
No.
Took me a while to figure out how to do it proper, like, but I can do it.
Proper, like we're going down south now.
Oh my gosh, I have a hunger die again. That's weird.
Lol. Ooh, nice. Okay, I like my roll. Let's see if you do better.
I don't think I did great.
I don't know. I think go with it.
3.
Yeah. She just smiles, walks over to you, and just gently tussles and ruffles her hair. Okay, Dr. Spock.
Wait for us. They haven't figured out how to do it with screens yet.
Theo just shuts up because he's not gonna out his clan that much.
As she does this, Magnus, you notice now what color is Theo's hair? Just pop it in me.
This well, it was brown. A
Kind of
dull,
brown.
boring brown.
You now see light highlights of blonde in his hair. He's got
Which
blonde tint highlights.
Theo wouldn't immediately realize it either.
He will not. So she
And Magnus isn't going to say a thing. It's like, so.
And oh my god, it won't even revert when he day sleeps because it's alchemy. Ugh.
So-
Backstreet's back, all right.
Magnus just like, so their terms are to, quote, stop the spread of the worm taint, which essentially means take out the Church of Cain and the shit they're doing and make sure that doesn't happen again. And keep the kindred population kind of contained within the more urban areas of Joliet.
Sure, because I totally want to make a new kindred.
Just letting you know.
Completely sarcastic.
Just
We
letting
can
you know.
talk to everyone. I think what we're thinking of is more of like, God, please tell me you're old, young enough to know the life of Brian.
Yes.
Okay, you know how they make this whole congregation, they talk about it?
Mm-hmm.
We're working on that.
Okay.
Look at there's no real like playbook for any of this shit. Unlike I have thousands of years of interested things.
Ah, you've been listening to Critias, I see.
Oh my God, is he fucking boring as hell? I've never wanted to grind my face into some like a whetstone just to try and get myself to bleed to death.
I
I think
mean,
the only way I could get out of it.
if it helps, probably half of it is only based on your gender.
I'm
True.
sorry, what?
He's a Greek philosopher.
He's one of the most sexist kindred I've ever met.
They look at each other and it's almost like you see fireworks going off. Oh, really?
Do be careful. He's not the sort of old thing you can mess with lightly.
Can't mess with them if they know that it was me.
And also, people think that just because Primogen are on pedestals that you can't poke them or they'll fall off. That's not true.
Ooh, can we put them on a stick?
You'd have to get past the first one.
No worries. We can do it. They almost say in ironically weird unison.
Just make sure
Right.
that we're not accessory to any of this.
Yep.
I know nothing. We were never here.
Theo at this point is actually going to look down and check his watch and then look over at Magnus. Bastion was supposed to meet us here, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was supposed to be here the same time you were. He's late.
Oh, is that the cool, like, really that South American dude?
Yeah.
Oh, and they both kind of look at Jay. He's like, yeah, he's cool.
I'm gonna see if he got caught up with any court stuff.
Just
And
text him or Paula or someone.
no, I'm gonna call. And Magnus picks up the phone and he calls Junie, what is that Bruja's name?
There are many Bruja. Would you like to narrow that one down?
Keeper?
The keeper.
Cordelia?
Yes, Cordelia. He calls Cordelia.
The phone rings and it's picked up about the second ring, and all of a sudden you hear Pat Benatar's bad reputation just blasting in the background. Like, what up?
Second
Your
ring
dime.
and Pat Benatar. You must be in a good mood, Cordelia.
Hey, you got the dime, I got the crime. What you got?
Two questions, because one, I know Primogen busy with all kinds of shit, but we haven't seen Kachai in a couple weeks. Can you tell me what's happening with him? Like,
Oh. You sure you want to know that one? Well,
I mean,
being
he's part of their coterie, so yes.
Oh, he didn't tell you.
No, he went for a meeting with Jackson, and then we didn't hear anything from that point on.
Well, thank God this is a secure line and we're talking in code. I'm sure you've heard of his family's little inside group known as the Friends of the Night.
Unfortunately, yes.
Well, he got a call 2 weeks ago.
Of course
Went to
he
DC.
did.
Haven't seen him since. Knowing that little band of oh God, what do you want to describe them as? Shit. Bouncing people, meddling forces, the clique. Yeah. Those whiny ass bitches. Yeah, they called him. You know it's gonna be forever and a fucking day.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let the rest of the group know. Second question.
Yeah, sure.
Have you seen Bastion around?
You hear it pause as it flips over to another song. Sex Pistols. I did see him like on Wednesday-ish with his friends, or well, not friends. I call them the puppy squad because they're just baby kindred. I saw him then, but then he had to head out. He got called into a meeting, and I haven't seen him since.
Gotcha. Thanks, Cordelia.
Yeah, sure. When are you guys coming up? I miss your parties.
We'll see if we can throw a celebratory party next week. We've got a bit of business to take care of first.
Cool. Is Tay-Tay going to be there?
I mean, she's part of the coterie, so we can't have a party without her.
I haven't seen her ass up here since the last shindig we rolled in here. She needs to shake her ass up in here. I need somebody to help me with these fucking Tories. I swear to God.
I'll pass that message along.
We need to do a proper kind of little rumble. And she needs to turn around and shock the crap out of them because I'm sorry, they're getting too uppity. We need to bitch slap them. And nobody can bitch slap them better than Tay-Tay coming in there with one of her swanky ass dresses and putting them all in check. Tell me I'm wrong.
I will let her know, Cordelia.
Fantastic. Thank you. I much appreciate.
Magnus hangs up. And then he's like, sorry, ladies, we're going to have to head out. If you need anything, the stockroom is back there. Just 2 doors down and to the left.
Aw, not 3 doors?
And the back door is, the one right next to it, so you don't have to explain anything to the lady at the front desk.
Oh, and Giovanni says, dinner, I believe, is at midnight tonight.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pass that on.
And they head out.
Magnus looks to Theo and he says, Bastion left court to go to a meeting on Wednesday night and has not been seen since.
Theo
And
just
Wednesday was
immediately
the last time I heard from him.
Theo just immediately sighs, opens up his doctor's bag, and starts taking out the Trail of Prey ritual implements. Do I need to then look for Kajai as well?
No, he's apparently gone to DC at the call of the Friends of the Night.
Ah, La Sombra shit. Gotcha.
Yep. So,
well,
we might see Montano before we see him.
We might see Kane before we see him.
True.
And then Thea will start enacting the ritual. You want me to do some rollage about that storytelling?
Yeah, sure, give me a roll. Why not?
God, what is with my fucking rolls tonight? Am I just the king of average?
Wow. Damn.
2 successes.
A Tremere being mid. Shock.
All right. I'm already suffering because I have unknown highlights, okay? You don't need to rub dirt in the wound.
Oh, I will like to state now, Magnus, that the highlights flow right in with his hair. And it's almost like not only is it highlights, but maybe she gave him a shape and a haircut. 2 bits. It's fine. He's got a modern hairstyle. It looks fantastic on him. I know.
Magnus is again just like not saying a word, not looking at it, just like
this is why we like Magnus.
He's just looking at the, how the ritual is going. So
I'm being bullied by my own castmates.
Oh no. Poor boy. Should we give you a hug?
No, don't worry. I'll just red card you guys eventually.
Fine.
As a quick PSA, don't abuse your lines and veils, everyone. They're there for a reason.
It's fair.
Okay.
So you got 2 successes. So as you do your ritual, it's not as bright as when you were looking for Taylor, but it's that mid kind of, you know what, you tried. So we're just going to give you oomph, and it's going to be just like it's not as strong, but it's like this trail of stardust almost.
The red light that says it's a string of light is a literal string and very thin and hard to spot, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you look at it at the right angle, you can lose it, yes.
To which Magnus, Theo completes the ritual, burns the ribbon, the whole deal, and then sort of scowls a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wherever the fuck he is either distant or hard to reach because this trail is thin.
Right. Well, we have a couple hours before we need to meet and he just sends a text to Spotter and Taylor that just says, "Dinner's at midnight, Joliet."
As Magnus sends that text, because we're going to pause this scene, Spotter, you've just received that text while Dr. Hammond is going through the rubble.
Mm-hmm. She stands up with stuff that she's putting in bags.
So this one, dinner's at midnight.
Awesome. Gonna have to figure out a way to get in here, though. Looks like it happened around the 1930s. Definitely this was defensive.
Yes, that was my impression.
Yeah. Intentional and defensive.
Absolutely. Shit doesn't fall like this the way I could see it.
No, it was placed purposefully.
Yeah. So.
But in a hurry, I think.
Yeah. Probably. Is it stable? Do I get that impression from?
Oh, yeah.
Like it's holding up everything above it. Like it's,
The only reason why no one ever found it is because of how solid that is.
And literally, Taylor's like, I recall there being something, and she says, follow me. And she walks around it because there was a drop off. 4 bodies. The garden would dispose of the carcasses. That's how they coexisted with kindred in the Undercity. They provided a service. And so she's going to work her way around this rubble to see if if she can see evidence of the drop-off.
The drop-off is and is not there. And what do I mean? From what Spotter can see and what you are seeing, you see that drop-off is not there anymore as it was caved in, but you do see leaves. You do see bits of that garden coming out, and they have come out to make a slow little bed. It's a little one, but that's as you're coming around, you hear a clinking of almost a sword, but actually when you look, it's a spear, and it beds itself right next to you guys as you hear the sound of wings.
Shit.
Taylor gets up because she was kind of crouched looking at this evidence here. And she stands up and turns around.
And you see Laura swooping down to grab the spear to almost go and attack again because she's in guardian mode. You see that she's here to protect. And Taylor would know that right away.
Laura.
I was just going to.
And you hear that shink. She's paused for a moment, looking at you, and you see her eyes are red.
Calm yourself, Laura. I have no intention of harming this place.
She looks between the two of you.
You know us.
Yep. Spotter. Taylor.
Yeah.
Slowly walks back.
And I know you.
What do you do here? You shouldn't be here.
I should.
No.
Yes.
No one's to be here.
Prasanthi, I sent you here.
Who?
That is you.
I'm here.
Yes.
Always here.
Yes.
She told me to stay.
Yes. I sent you here with her.
I don't remember.
I know, but I do.
Who?
Forgive me, I have to look up the name again. Because I don't remember.
It's only someone's backstory that they've forgotten. Not like you have any pressure writing.
I know, right?
No, you're fine.
But hey, it's better to look it up and be right.
And she looks at her and says, the one you came with was Azima Mansour.
You see her kind of walk back, and the spear kind of goes more like standing upwards. And she starts to hitch back, trying to remember. I have to roll.
Mm-hmm.
Please keep going.
She was one of my sisters. I entrusted you to escort and protect her to America.
You see her. She doesn't hit her head, but it kind of like tries to jog it.
Taylor opens her bag and she takes out a photograph. It's an old black and white photograph. Holds it up in front of her. And it's of her standing in front of a building in Cairo as a young woman. You are Chrysanthi Papadopoulos from Athens. I met you in Cairo. 1929.
Don't remember. Sand. Sand. I remember sand. Sand.
Yes.
Sand.
Yes, you were an archivist on my team. I was posing as a man at the time, a lord from Germany.
With permission from storytellers breaking this room, with permission, is it okay if Laura was to touch Taylor?
Yes.
Laura will kind of take her
She's done it
hand-
before. She picked her up.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying this now. She will kind of gently grab Taylor's hair a little and pull it up to be like man short hair.
Mm-hmm.
You looking like man in other place.
Yes. And you called that one Lord.
Yes. Because he named Lord.
I was a Lord when you worked with me and I recruited you.
Then how am I this?
I don't know. Perhaps we
here?
should talk to the one that made you.
Oh. She's not here. Well, she's not here. She off on other mission.
Then when she returns, we talk to her. Because this is who you were. Take it.
I will ruin it. You hold on to it.
Okay.
But that one, and she'll point down to where the rebel is. She told me to stay. Last words. I stayed.
We need to get into her. Can we?
You don't harm her, do you?
Of course not. If she is still there, she is not gone. She is just
She's there.
sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Why we protect?
Yes. I can wake her.
Okay. She looks between the two of you. It's like, this is like her primary function.
Hmm?
And this is like ultimate. She's going to put trust in you guys, but still, there's that inkling. You stay here. She'll put her spear down. She'll walk over to the rubble. And it's almost like she just melts right into it.
Potter hasn't moved, just for the record. Yeah, this. He's a tough guy, but he's not a gargoyle.
It takes a minute or two. And when she does come out, it's like she opens it to allow her, the rubble moves almost kind of like a slow door, almost like an Egyptian door, like a part of a tomb.
Mm-hmm.
And you see her coming out with a woman's body in her arms. I have a picture of what she looks like back in the 1930s, and her dress and the shawl would be dustied up, ripped, torn. Her hair would be all a mess. But she will take her carefully, put the woman down, and you will see that she is staked and in torpor. And she'll go, does she need stuff? Blood.
She's going to need to be roused. And Taylor will bite into her own wrist before she unstakes her and literally force her jaw open and rouse a rouse check of blood into her. Let me hold that up.
And as you do that, Laura
I succeed.
will call. Yay! Laura will call out just like almost like a primordial roar for a moment, and you will hear another set of wings, and a knocked out person just dropped.
Perfect. And
Jesus.
and literally Taylor says, efficient. I like it. And then she pulls out the stake.
And the woman gasps, slowly trying to come back. And then Laura will bring the man, crack his neck, and the woman will feed. And when the person unfortunately does not live anymore, body's taken away.
I ask Laura, is the garden still there?
Move. Moved.
You moved the garden?
Needed to grow
Where?
by our nests. She points to the dead body. We use for things. Contract.
Can it be returned?
We can move. Not that hard. We were told, move.
She looks down. Asima?
Slowly she comes up, waking up, looking around, confused as fuck.
Taylor locks eyes with her. Sister.
What has happened? Where am I?
Under Chicago.
Then it worked.
Yes.
Where is everyone?
You are all that's left.
There were several of us.
You are all that's left. This is Chrysanthi.
And she'll just look in horror. Going, this is not what was supposed to happen.
You've been in your
What
state.
year is it?
2010. Do you
She's
know
just
me?
Of course I know you. It's not that hard. You still have the same facial features, only longer hair. She slowly wakes up like, my nice dress. They ruined it.
We can get you more dresses.
Oh, I'm not worried about that, but I like this one. It was almost like home. I assume a lot of things have. She keeps looking over at Laura like, I assume a lot of things have changed. And hello, Mr.
This is Spotter.
Hey,
Spotter, this is Asima Mansour.
Hello.
I know just the person for dresses.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. What? How?
How what?
How did you find me?
I remembered that there was a garden. I went to
Of
go
course.
try to access it from above, and it was blocked off.
Of course.
So here I
Sword
am.
of Cain came through.
Did it?
Of course it did.
Well, they've come back, and I am fighting them tonight at midnight.
Well, do you want help?
Always.
Well, you're wearing pants.
Yes.
I'm not surprised.
No, they're far more comfortable and easy to get around in.
Can I wear pants now?
Yes, you can. Come. You can come to my house. I'll get you dressed.
Thank the gods. And then she will kind of look over at Laura and pause and go, I say, I'm sorry. I did not mean you to have this life. And Laura will just go, I stay. You told me stay? I stay. You okay now? She just gently pats the woman on the shoulder. But as she does it, she doesn't realize her own strength. And you can see, it's like, okay.
Careful, Laura. She's just woken up from a very long nap.
She's still strong. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, she's fine.
Laura, Bastian is making a gift for you.
For me?
Yes.
Why? What
Because
did I do?
You asked me to find who you were.
Yes, you find, yes.
Yes, I did. But he has a special gift. That's something he can do.
That is a pretty boy with the long hair.
Yes.
Okay.
So when he gets it done, I'll help him deliver it to you.
Tell me where to go. I can meet.
I'll let you know.
Oh, do you want books inside?
Yes.
How many?
You can keep your favorites.
I don't have favorites.
You don't?
Don't have. Azumai goes, we put all the books downstairs in the crate, in the pit. They're all crated up. About 55 crates.
Excellent.
About 1,000 books apiece.
Excellent.
Jesus.
Excellent.
No, he's not here. Why are we calling somebody who's dead?
Sorry, it's a habit from Catholics.
But
Good to know.
Spotter here is tied to this undercity. He's
A local?
a local, but also of the line of the architect.
Oh, good gravy.
Yep. That was my reaction too.
But he's good people, ally. And so, Laura, thank you. You did well.
You want books out? Do you
No,
want
I want
garden
books.
back?
I want books in the garden. I want the garden back. And she looks to Asima and says, I have plans for a new Dehano.
Sorry, switching brain functions. Laura will go oy vey, and then Azuma is like, we can make this work. That is no problem. They made sure that it'll collapse on itself so that they couldn't find anything or take anything as trophies.
Good.
It works.
Of course, it worked. I know how to work things.
Welcome to 2010.
Should have seen me in 2018, then I was better.
Yes. So let us make our return journey.
Laura will go, do you need any help with your fighting in the other world, the other city?
I won't turn away help. The plan is that they should be incapacitated. But
Okay. But
just in case, it wouldn't hurt.
they caused rumble years ago. We
Yes.
couldn't go down there anymore. Can
Yes.
change. Mother is there now.
Hmm.
Oh, right. Laura's trying to show you the one who made her like this.
Yes.
She doesn't know the
Your
word sire.
your sire, the one that made you,
Yeah, we called her mother.
mother. She's in Joliet.
She's with the pink shirt guy, the teddy dude.
Yes,
the
yes.
teddy boy.
A Tremere.
2 of them, 3 of them.
Three
The
of them.
ones that are down by Lake Catherine.
Oh. She's helping them.
She was called to help.
Lovely.
She helps them. She likes them. The pink haired guy, the pink guy, he liked his family. She helps.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Mhm.
Absolutely, if you would like to help as well. And then we can talk to your mother to confirm things.
Okay.
Okay?
That works.
Okay.
So as you guys get your new companion with you up back into the real world, we're going back to Magnus and Theo. So I can't be 4 people at once. Yes, Potter. Real quick.
If you're going back with her to your place, I'm going to go meet up with Bells and get that shit going.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. You guys split up. We're going back to Magnus and Theo real quick because we got to find a Rose.
Yep.
Or try to.
Is the trail fairly linear, or is it sort of twisting around the whole fucking city as we drive around?
We're talking Bastion here. You know he's at every place, anywhere, anyhow, anyhow. Why?
Probably stopped over at a couple places at the same time, so the trail loops over on itself like an annoying.
Oh, it's like he did a tango all over Chicago.
We can't keep going much longer. We're gonna have to just turn and go to Joliet soon.
And the trail keeps flickering further and further, so I can see less and less of it. It's not even worth following at this point. God damn it, Bastion, where are you?
Where is the trail right now? Like,
you've gone from one of your centers, gone down to the lake. From the lake, you've gone up LSD almost to the part of Evanston, then did a curlicule down to the rack, and then you kind of, it was almost like a samba back and forth down the rack. And they did a curlicule over on the west side, did a couple of things close to several of your clinics, did a little merengue down to where the Malkavians kind of hang out at, as they all looked at you really crazily, not even sure, and making out this whole trio of, a Tremere and a Gangrel. And then as you kind of wavered down Chicago's river on the north side to cross down into the south side, down the way close to where the Ventrue kind of hang out, you see a whole bunch of suits just looking at you guys. And you're driving on, and Theo's like, no, we went there. No, we went over there. And they're just looking at you like you two lost your goddamn minds. So right now you find yourself, ironically enough, by the campus, but it doesn't stay there. It kind of looks like he did this curlicule loop and leaving. And everyone in front of Elysium's just looking at you guys going, the fuck? And there's Josephine just taking out her phone, not sure she wants to text or take a picture. And she's just standing there, and she kind of just waves.
Magnus just like one hand on the wheel kind of waves the other hand to her.
And those who can read lips as we pass would see Theo through the windshield say to Magnus, did he feed off of someone high on ecstasy? What the fuck is this?
And as you are turning around and driving, not only did you drive past the other Elysium, which is the art museum, then you go kind of like in the zigzag line down Painter's Row, which is the Toreador thing. And then you actually go down into Chinatown, which was the Tremere area. But then you look like he's gone through, and it's kind of like the swirly kind of loop. And then around and around and around in this swirly loop. And then it looks like he stopped at least for at least a couple of minutes, because it looks like he might have had Chinese. Because who doesn't want Chinese from Chinatown? It's fucking amazing. Okay?
Sure, that would be the best Chinese food.
You're not wrong. Absolutely. Uncle Roger approved. And then from there, you kind of go, by the time you realize it, you're back in Painter's Row again. You have literally gone through almost all of the north side, down through the loop, and you're starting to go towards the south side.
We're getting closer to Joliet here.
I'd say just finish the trip. And Theo will just wave his hand, which doesn't mean much to Magnus, but for him, he cancels the fucking ritual because this is asinine.
Because as you've gone through Painter's Row, you've gone down to the near south side, and actually almost close to where you found Taylor, because who has Sense the Unseen here? Between the two. Oh, perfect. Do you just see Spotter's crew of out? Hold on. Junie has to try and remember now. You got Dugout, you've got Mr. Big, you've got infield, outfield, and and you've got battery. And they're just all sitting there kind of talking and everything. And they're kind of like trying to munch on this, what would be a hot dog, but they're not sure how to eat it, or they're trying to eat it. But the thing is that they keep throwing up. So they're trying to learn how to ingest again. And they're just stopping there and watching you just go around and around, and then back and then forth and back. And they all start sitting there going back and forth like this.
Like they're leaning with us.
Yeah, they're leaning as you're driving. And then they send this text to Spotter of, your boy's gone crazy.
Go on.
And they will take a photograph. They will take a video a little bit of
Those
you guys
rat
running
fucks.
around,
Wait,
and then they'll send it to you going, they lost as fuck.
they sent me a photo?
No, they
Oh,
sent
show it
they
to Taylor.
sent a
This is
video.
before we split.
Video.
Wait. Okay, can I see his hair?
Yes.
Okay.
You see Theo with this fresh haircut.
Theo looks
this
pissed, but
tips.
it in no way
And he
seems
looks
connected
good.
to his hair.
Oh no, he looks fly as fuck.
Taylor's like peeking over real quick
Oh,
as
yeah.
she's walking to her. What? Oh,
No.
damn. Raspberry hooked him up.
Oh, we're
As,
gonna have
as
so
the
much fun
player,
with this.
no, she didn't. I'm now understanding why so many people kill thin bloods on principle.
And so as you kind of before Theo cancels, you move away from there, and then you're starting to go down and down to close to where Naomi's place is. And Naomi's people are looking, going, what the fuck? You have gone down now to the south side, but they're all just looking at you like you lost your damn minds.
And we were told who he was meeting, right? Like we
Nope.
know.
Just he said he had a meeting.
God damn it, that's even worse.
Yeah, this is the weirdest trail to take when you have a
Like-
meeting.
Theo's
Hey,
just going to straight up, flat out complain. Even a Toreador is not this circuitous. What the fuck is he doing?
Did he go into any of these buildings? Like,
You don't have a time span of when how long he's been in there. You just know that he's been there.
okay, well, we can look again after Joliet. Like,
Yes, please give me something else to focus on.
yeah, let's just head there and meet up with the other two.
Yes,
If
Theo
he
does this
doesn't
little.
show up, then he doesn't show up and we try and find him after. But we're on a timestamp.
Yeah, it's
And
Theo turns
frankly,
around to
I
do
don't
this.
expect Joliet to take all that much time.
Hopefully not.
Sure. But as Theo cancels out his thing, you just see Aurora just standing there looking at you guys, kind of going,
And Theo
kind of gives you a question of like, what are you guys looking for?
Magnus will pull over and just roll down the window and be like, hey, Aurora.
I'm going to ask in the most polite way possible, off of all the reports I have just gotten tonight from you two. Where the fuck, why the fuck, and how the fuck?
Bastion.
Yeah, Bastion.
Oh.
Trying to figure out where he is because he disappeared Wednesday and we have not heard or seen from him. And he
We've
was
been doing
supposed
the
to meet
tour
with
day
us.
Chicago.
We found out. We found out.
And that's why you've been doing the.
It wasn't even a well laid out tour. We circled back to locations we passed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Bastion. Have you ever tried to follow him?
No.
No,
Have you ever tried tracking him before?
No.
no.
Clearly,
So
don't.
you've heard that he was doing the tour. Who was he with? Was he alone?
Where did he end up?
Oh, where he ended up, I still don't know. He's still moving.
Where did he go?
Where didn't he go is the question.
Okay. Did he, like Theo said, did he meet with anyone?
Oh, right. Excuse me. Hold on. Let me pull out his diary to find out. No, I don't know. I just know I saw him roaming around.
All right.
One of the Toreadors kind of started playing the song from B-52, Wherever I May Roam, or whatever that turn is, whatever song is. I don't remember anymore.
Did you happen to get a good look at him as he was roaming?
No, he was in a tinted car, but you can't mistake his cologne anywhere.
Fair.
That man has a distinct scent that my hyper senses can't mistake. You put 75 billion Toreados in a room, I will nail that man's scent every fucking time. It's like you have a distinct scent, Theo. It's books and medicine.
Mhm.
More books than medicine. Actually, it's kind of older, mustier books. You really need to air them out.
Oh no, there's plenty of modern tomes too, I promise.
Like I said. I mean, Magna smells all like a hospital. Oh.
Yeah.
Farm animals, alpaca. And why wool?
Long story.
Cool.
I'm more curious about the alpaca.
But you don't know about the farm?
They will actually just turn and look at you, Magnus, on that one.
Yeah, I'm helping Evie set up a farm down in the south.
That makes more sense than what I was initially assuming, is that you were setting up a farm for yourself.
No.
Which, no offense, just doesn't seem like you.
No, that's not my area.
Okay, well, you might want to stop this crazy ass tango because I have a feeling you're not going to find him tonight.
Yeah,
No.
I was getting that idea.
With a tinted car? Yeah, no.
I realized we may have been,
Overzealous.
well, not overzealous, but more just grasping at straws if the Malkavians were looking at us like we were odd. That
You're
should
not
have
wrong.
probably been the first hint for me.
Wait, the first or the only?
Well, we didn't technically stop until we saw you.
You should have stopped and asked the Malkavians. You do realize they have an inner network where they could have turned around and contacted and talked to each other and gotten you an answer faster.
Yeah, but then that whole network knows exactly what we're looking for.
And it's not a secret.
It's not the point. I just don't want it spreading wide.
Oh, well, then that's why you don't tell the Nosferatu.
It was a bit harsh. I feel like the Nos actually respect privacy more.
It's true. Malks
Especially
like to
their
push
own.
around and find out more and more and more.
Well,
Look, it's Chicago. There's three ways normally you find things. Tell a Nos, tell a Rose, telephone Cordelia or Josephine.
isn't Primogen Annabelle something of a gossip as well?
Only if it pertains to her group.
Mm.
Or people she hates. Or if you're on the list, and that list is for elimination. But unfortunately, I'm not on that.
Well, Dr. Sanchez, it seems that we must be on our way.
Yep. We'll try and find Bastion later
about
or another night.
How about I put my group on it?
I'd appreciate that, Aurora.
Sure. Just keep it easy, keep it underneath the speed limit, and don't pass a whole lot of places twice or three times because they're asking me if you guys are drunk or you guys are on something.
No, that was probably Bastion that was on something. But I am going to want to talk to you later about something your group might be interested in. We found out some information about a certain person that might be added to a list, if you catch my drift.
Got it. You guys have never watched Bastion Drive, have you?
No.
He plays music and he drives to the music. So as he dances and drives, literally. He'll swing over, and as the music is going, he'll go in a circle and go around, and hence Tour de Chicago.
So much.
Theo's actually going to check his pulse for a second. No, I'm still dead. Sorry, I just realized as a player, the two most pragmatic characters just heard drive to the music, and I think we both nearly had our nosebleeds, and we don't have functioning blood vessels.
Yep.
Yeah, no. At this point, Theo's just going to say, good seeing you, Aurora. Thank you so much for your help. And then just sit back and wait for us to drive away.
You have an
Agnes.
excellent night, and do tell me what the body count is later.
Thanks. I will. I'll give you the
Later.
whole rundown.
And as you
And he
pull
drives
away,
off.
we will then bring our people back after break. We'll see you in 10.
All right, y'all. We'll be back shortly. Once I can find my cursor.
Hi, we're back. We just had a great first session of Spotter and Taylor finding new friends and discovering older people. And then we have Magnus and Theo looking for a rose, which then tangoed its way throughout all of Chicago with Theo with a new haircut. And now everyone knows.
Except Theo.
For intelligence and a fucking clueless moron.
That's okay. We love you too, Theo. It's all good. So as we open up the second act, we have our wonderful kindred here. How are we all going down to Joliet?
I think we are actually meeting in the Anarch domain that borders it.
Okay.
Okay. Because she's also, because Taylor has to meet up with Mark as well there. So that's where they arranged to meet before rolling in deep.
And go ahead.
I was going to say, I think Spotter would have called Magnus for a ride to help with the party favors.
Yep. Magnus would swing by in the SUV with Theo riding shotgun.
I say nothing.
My man.
And
I nudge Bells because I know she's looking.
All of you. Such bitches. Every last one of you.
And Taylor pulls up and she has a beautiful Egyptian woman on the back of her bike.
Els will get out quietly, start doing her thing, and Mark kind of walks over, greets Taylor, but he's being that there's this woman on the back of the bike, he'll just kind of lean and peck her, for a kiss, and then look over at the SUV with Magnus, Theo, and Spotter, and then he looks at Taylor like, want to say something,
And then Taylor
but
looks over, and as Theo gets out, she's like, hot damn! Raspberry made you look good, Theo.
What? As Theo will actually approach Taylor. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my God, do you not look in the mirror?
This way.
Oh my God. She's so going to take out her phone and put the camera feature on and then turn it reverse and so he can see himself.
And Theo's staring at the phone screen for a good 30 seconds.
Ah.
And then she snaps the photo. I'm keeping it for posterity.
And she will hear Theo mutter under his breath, if I had the somber, I'd just reach out and touch the fucking thing.
You look amazing, Theo.
Right.
Well, I'm glad someone thinks so, because I don't.
Oh.
What is wrong? You look good.
Yeah. You didn't want to.
Oh, by the way, gentlemen, Spotter's already met her, but please, gentlemen, this is Azima Mansour. She's an old friend of mine. I happen to have found her under rubble in the Undercity.
Glad you were able to find her then.
Yes.
Were you waiting for someone to get you for long?
Being that I was taken underneath the rubble since the 1930s, you would say I was.
It's a significant jump.
Yes.
Being
She's
that I
going
now
to be
can put
staying with
pants,
me
I'm
for a little
happy.
bit of time.
Welcome to 2010.
Yes, apparently your haircut is now telling me I'm in 2010. I've never met a dapper man like you to actually have such a, what did they say, fresh haircut?
Fresh
No,
haircut, yes.
No, this moronic invention was in the early 2000s. You're in the closer to the mid 2000s now.
It is time that still wavers and you still look good. I see now why you aren't complaining.
And Azima, this is Mark Levesque.
Hello, how are you? And Mark nods and says, pleasure. How coordination, people, how are we doing this?
Well, she checks her phone to see if she's gotten any updates from the Thin Bloods.
You see at times a countdown to midnight.
Perfect. We've got just enough time to get there for mass.
Ozma just looks confused, but going, midnight mass, how appropriate.
I know, right? Some Thin Bloods are poisoning the well, as it were.
How Roman.
Yes. I thought it was quite hilarious. And so definitely we'll give them time to partake, and they should be incapacitated. Where we're focused on is the military facility.
The arsenal.
The arsenal.
And you just hear bells go, I can't wait. I've already got it all planned out. I have the blueprints and everything.
Yeah, Asma, that spells. She can help with any wardrobe. She's very nice.
And they just look at each other for a moment. And they kind of point that I know you look. And all of a sudden you see them talking. It's not gibberish. It's an actual language. And they're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they go, oh, yes. I know her. And Asma goes, I know her too.
Good.
We're all friends.
She goes, I've been wondering where the hell she's been. I got so many dresses. It's gonna be amazing.
Make her some pants now too, Bells.
Already done.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Oh, and thank you for the clothes, dear.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm sorry, but anyone does that to you, I'm sorry, must be destroyed. She goes and pats Theo's shoulder. Don't worry, we will not destroy Raspberry Pi. She's too precious, but you look good. I'll leave
Resist
it
the
there.
urge to frenzy.
Inspired to actually make you clothing. If you will let me make you clothing, decent suits that fit you properly. Please.
Who is she talking to, Junie?
Theo, she's like, Bells is talking to you.
Oh,
The precious Nosferatu.
we can meet sometime in the week to
Sure, 'cause
discuss.
I have all of your measurements and everything, and I just want to just put you in some nice suits that fit you.
Theo, you got to understand there's no take backsies. You said you were going to meet with her. It's going to happen.
You need to do this.
I've been reestablishing a clan. Now that I'm free, I can happily meet with her.
All right. Well, let's start rolling, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one last thing before we get really into the storyteller. Ghouls count as humans for the purpose of powers, right?
They're about you.
Okay, just making sure.
There might be ghouls harmed in this situation. Anyhow,
Only if they fight back.
I mean, that's fair. So as you guys get together and you roll down from Aurora, as you start to get closer to Joliet, it's odd. It's quiet. And as you cross over a new threshold, you go down to the arsenal. It's not as blown up as many people thought. You may see what looks like gang violence or little uprisings. You do see a little bit of fighting, but the key word was everything needs to be on the down low.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be done quiet.
And it's being done quiet.
And it's being done very quiet to the point that as you get to the arsenal, you start to see the rumblings and the ground rumbles and shakes a little bit. But it's still there. And Bells hops out. I mean, she's so excited. She's hopping out, grabbing her thing, running towards the door just so he can blow it up because explosions. And as she's doing that, what are you guys all doing as you have now arrived upon the Joliet Arsenal?
Taylor, as she's grabbing her gear from her bike, literally looks over and says, oh, yeah, and some gargoyles are helping out, too. Laura said that the one that made her is here already, and she's helping out.
They I'm assuming they won't, but I have to ask. They won't be visible, will they?
No, underground.
Good.
Because they're upset that things got blocked off.
Understandable. There will be a couple of my clan as well.
Yes, the one that made her is helping them. Friendly to your clan.
Okay.
Sorry. The one that made her.
Laura. The one that made Laura is helping 2 or 3 from your clan, she said.
Right, because she was sired, not created. It's still hard to think of them that way. Loyal to the clan.
At least friendly to them.
Oh, Satha's alive? Problems for later, but thank you for the information. Interesting.
Of course. And Taylor grabs her sword, the special sword, and and hands Azima any gear she may need.
Yeah.
She'll take a sword as well. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Swinging sisters.
Mm-hmm.
See, Spotter's going to grab his bat. He's going to make sure he's got his stick or 2. He has a specialty in demolitions, so we might as well just help Bells. Unless he gets in the way. So.
Silence of Death.
Yep. Magnus has Silence of Death up. He also has roused his Dex, Defy Bane, and Feral Weapons. And I am very thankful that BP3 has the rouse reroll for 2nd level powers.
So as you guys, Bells doesn't wait. She just
I do rouse toughness.
Okay. You do hear a pop, and then the door swings open, and you just see that chaotic little gremlin just giggle in her black little dress, and then just jump down. Why? Because that's what she does. We don't ask, we just accept. And Mark
Magnus immediately follows her.
Taylor's right behind Magnus.
Absolutely. I'm obfuscated though.
That's fair. And as you fall down.
Oh no, I'm going to soaring leap.
Okay. You guys are falling at least a good 40 to 50 feet.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. I'm going to soaring leap and then I'll superhero landing. It's fine.
If you don't superhero landing, are you doing it right? Yes, your obfuscate works too.
Will it Magnus obfuscate? Or no?
When you land.
Okay, so I'll wait then. I'll just.
Okay. The fun thing about Weight of a Feather, you can turn it on or off whenever you want. And so Magnus falls at regular speed, and then just like right before he hits the ground, he activates Weight of a Feather and just floats down like Tuxedo Mask landing, just lands and just starts walking as he lands. He leaves the superhero landing to the Bruja.
How Tuxedo Mask?
Because I have cat's grace, so I'm not going to like twist an ankle or anything. So
I might break into the area below it.
And see, this is why it wasn't important that I'm a combatant, because I don't have anything tough, so I have to make my way down there the sane and safe way.
Well, that's Spotter would remember that. He put you on his shoulder.
Oh, even easier.
Oh, great. So now Theo's a spider monkey.
And Azima and Mark have gotten down too.
Mm-hmm. Azima and Mark and have gone down as well. I'm not going to tell you how because I haven't figured it out and I'm not worried about it.
Don't worry about it. They made it down.
Mark probably just soaring leaped like Taylor did.
Probably. And he just grabbed Azima and brought her down. As you guys all get onto the main part, you do hear the rumblings behind several closed doors. And you do hear oofs and sounds of combating. You also hear what sounds like the ripping and tearing of metal and stone all at the same time. And how this happens, you're not sure. You're not seeing it. But then that's when you hear more explosions going off. And Bells is just like, I'm not even in there yet. This is sad.
As a connoisseur, can you tell what's blowing up? Is it just grenades or is it something stronger?
She silences herself for a moment. Almost like you can see her, mouse like you're just picking up like a sonar. Gas. Fire. Sounds like ammunition. There's a rocket launcher in there. Who brought a rocket launcher? Oh, more gas. Ooh, they got to the boilers. There's the boilers already. How quietly did you guys make these people go?
Really quiet.
Mm-hmm.
They got dynamite. They had the old-fashioned. Who has old-fashioned?
It's not that hard to make.
Actually, one of the simplest kinds of dynamite to make.
Hell, my ghoul knows how to make it.
They don't.
I know how to make it.
Anymore. Do you have them on stock? Because I want some. Anyhow, you see her just bust right into the doors, and as the doors swing open, you see people falling down. You see bodies. You see a whole group in front of you. They said, "Make a way, make a path for you guys." That's what they're doing.
Fantastic. We're just going to roll right through the middle.
Mm-hmm. And Magnus is using his at present 7 dexterity to just zoom.
As you guys walk through, you see what looks like the ripping. You see the holes in the stone. You see the holes in the concrete. You see where fires are. You're going towards the center, which is the blasting testing pit. And you hear screaming and ahs because Star Wars references. And at the same time, you feel more rumbling. You feel the whole ground shake where you're at.
Thank goodness for cat's grace.
As you guys get to the center of the room, you see part of the Lake Catherine garden right there. And they're holding up several lieutenants. Ironically enough, with vines and different plants, as the plants have actually walked with them, picking up different people. And they're holding them up.
I would not be the Tremere I am if I didn't check with Sense the Unseen. Are these blood sorcery enhanced plants, or are these plants listening to some other sort of power? Because there are other things besides it that can make plants
This
move
is
like
blood
that.
sorcery. It's a Bahari ritual.
It's blood sorcery, but at the same time, it looks like they're almost sentient. They're almost themselves. They have their own will to move.
Does that mean in some ways I can see that these plants have an aura?
Correct.
That is fucking creepy.
As Taylor passes by, she nods and says, "Sisters."
They both look back at you and nod. And they say, "What do you want? What do you want us to do with these?"
She looks. They aren't the targets she's looking for.
Who are you looking for?
Arden, the Pander, and Joshua.
They look at each other for a moment and they look to the plants, and the plants, they kind of just shuck off the people down into the pit. And you see the plants just roll down the thing. Do you want them brought here?
Perfect.
I believe the priest is being picked up by one of ours. Not ours, but ours.
Got it. Perfect.
If he has anything on them that they've already taken, I would request that, please. If it's not too much trouble.
Dr. Theodore Smith, are you asking us to make sure that you get some of his treasure?
It doesn't have to be 100% acquisition. We could agree to
He's just looking for any
50-50.
rituals.
I mean, we would be more than willing to help with our libraries, but you would have to consider doing something first. And I don't know if you want to do that.
We can always discuss later. And then Theo will keep heading with the rest of the coterie.
They will look towards Taylor like they know what they just offered.
And she just kind of chuckles a little under her breath.
For everyone to know, this is clearly the night where Theo is an oblivious dumb fuck.
Yes.
Like worse than with Evie or Dear Salubria. Like worse than that. That's this is not Theo's night, is all I'm
Magnus
saying.
is just going to be like, Magnus is just clocking all this and is just kind of categorized Theo as a very obsessed and very oblivious kind of kindred, where it's like all he cares about is blood sorcery and he just ignores everything not related to it.
This is correct. I'm here for this, and I love every moment of it.
It's always good when your convictions can shine through your role play.
You're not wrong. As these creatures slowly come back, because they're bringing everything back to the test pit,
Mhm.
you will see a state pander.
Perfect.
They can't find Joshua at the moment. Apparently, Joshua wasn't pulled up here or held up here. But the sisters kind of look at each other going, we're looking for him.
Good.
We've got friends, and they will gesture to the
Mhm.
everywhere. So it should only be a matter of time, to be honest.
Excellent.
And if the Thin Bloods did as they promised, he should be taking a nice nap at the moment. And you can see the pander who's hanging upside down by his ankle is completely out of it. He is torpored.
Good. He can stay parked for a moment. And Taylor takes her sword out of its sheath and just stands ready.
And that's when you hear the moving of rock, the moving of concrete, the bending of steel. And just at the edge, it looks like concrete just melting away and pulling apart. As you see this lovely creature come walking in with a torpor Arden in her arms.
Boy.
And she looks pissed as fucking hell. She'll look at the sisters and nod, and then throw the body to where the creatures are, and they will then grab him and wrap him around and just say, they did their job. I'll go find Joshua in a minute. I just want to see him hang for a second. He deserves this.
See if they can
Indeed.
spin him around in midair a bit.
Sisters look at each other and they just nod, and you see him spin around for a moment.
I mean, we don't have any equilibrium to throw off, so he'll not get nauseous, but it's still funny.
He's passed out. I don't think he feels it.
It's more for me.
Oh, well, I'm glad, Dr. Smith, that this is just for you.
And Theo will actually take a half step forward and hold out his right hand and look up to her.
She'll look down at him. Yes, Dr. Smith.
Your reputation precedes you, and frankly, I'd heard rumors that you were dead, so I'm more just impressed, if anything else, to meet a living legend.
She'll look at you confused, but nod and say you're welcome. She will
That's fine.
take your hand and shake it, but she's
He shakes
very-
back.
not exactly hi, left field. How are you?
And he gives a firm shake and then releases her hand and will take a step back with everyone else.
He deserves everything he gets. She'll kind of look to her little piece right here going, it's almost time. Joshua should be here in a moment. My daughter's bringing her.
I am a friend of Laura's.
She'll look right at Taylor like, zoom, laser lock. And you are?
Now I'm known as Dr. Taylor Hammond. But I knew Laura before she was your daughter.
And you're the one who brought her here.
I'm the one that sent her here.
And she'll notice the Egyptian next to you.
Mhm.
This is all coming together. I was wondering what caused all this. I didn't mean to embrace her, but I had no other choice. She was already in torpor, and your friend was dying.
You did a kindness.
I did what was asked of me. And she'll look right at your friend going, she knew what would happen, but it was better than, I suppose, her dying with all the knowledge she had. Do you have a way to unlock her?
I'm working on it.
I know what I was before this. Only because somebody commanded me to remember before the Tremere changed me.
Mm.
I was not embraced. I was created.
I'm working on it with Laura.
I'd appreciate it.
Of course.
They didn't deserve what they got, but unfortunately, we didn't have a choice. And like, she'll look over to Spotter, our apparent brethren or cousins. They have the ability to remember.
Yes.
Well, she's almost here.
Excellent.
What are we doing with these?
Well, these two, I'm planning to ritually sacrifice.
Fair. What are we doing with the lackey?
We're going to share him with friends.
Sounds good. And that's when you hear the wings as if somebody's speed tunneling right through. And you see Laura coming in with Joshua in her arms. And she just looks at everyone going, what do we do now?
She looks to her coterie and says, shall we have Joshua delivered to the bar?
I think it makes sense.
She looks to Laura. Can you do that?
In cell?
Yes. Just as he is.
I can do. Take me a little.
No problem.
And then she turns around, or she kind of slowly turns, and she melts with Joshua in her arms into the stone. And you slowly see the stone liquefy as she leaves.
Well, gentlemen, it seems like this was effectively done and there was no fight to be had.
Mark's like, God damn it.
Victory
Seriously.
without having to actually fight is always a good one.
Like the W.
If nothing else, I was more concerned that I wouldn't be a contributor. So to not have to contribute at all is quite nice.
Oh, you contributed to our general well-being today, Dr. Smith.
That hair alone.
Go to hell, the both
The
of you.
Tremere are like, what, you didn't mean to dress up today for a fight?
That's his war hair.
That's his
I know.
hair.
I mean,
Actually, for the Tremere, there is more of an expression than with others who are teasing him, as Theo sort of like whips his finger and just points at them, not looking. But it's very clear, like, shut up, I will talk with you at the chantry.
and they're not a part of the chantry. They just say, you see the whole shut up, look at the chantry, and they just look at you and go, you could do that all you want. The thing is that we don't go there.
Do I have any cell service down here?
I mean, you've got maybe 2 bars. or
Okay,
3,
she's
maybe if you stand in the right area.
Okay, so she'll move around a bit to try to get the best signal possible, and then she's going to text Raspberry to meet at the armory.
Already on our way.
Perfect. So she actually goes to the Tremere present, and also Mark and Azima join her, and she says, Raspberry's been talking about starting her own garden.
Mm.
We can
Okay.
ritually sacrifice these two here to bless it for her.
Start from here and then move up.
Exactly.
I believe and both the Tremere stop for a moment and go, Giovanni and her are coming. It's hard to.
She thin blood. Yes, I know.
No. Yeah,
What?
it's hard to think of a Giovanni not as a Giovanni, but a thin blood.
I know.
I don't get it. It's just.
It's not that complicated. She's not really a fan of her family. Okay.
We're aware of this, but at the same time, a Giovanni not being a Giovanni is just, especially after we heard about the family. I mean,
Some people aren't a fan of their families.
they just look over at Theodore for a moment and smirk.
I have done nothing but, and Theo just walks off bitching about, I try to unify the clan in the city, and what do I fucking get? Just,
Actually, one will say it's not you exactly. It's what Abraham and his sire did to us.
entirely fair.
You just happen to be a male representation of said people.
Oh, yes, of course. A justifiable target is still a target.
I mean, speaking of Abraham, fuck that guy in particular.
Oh, don't worry. I
don't do charity.
I can say with some confidence that Abraham will not be a problem for much longer. How does that all treat you?
Very well.
Music to my ears.
As you
Most have been
guys
saying
talk,
that.
as you guys talk, Raspberry and Miss Giovanni do happen to come in.
Oh, fantastic. You can fix this right now.
Fix what?
My hair. The atrocity that is my hair.
What's the atrocity? I see nothing wrong with it.
I'm blonde.
Do you want to be brunette again?
Yes, the same color, the same shape, please.
Ew. Why?
I told him he looked good. Obviously, he took offense to that.
And as a bonus, I will give you the reason why I care. But only you. How about that?
So Raspberry just goes, never heard anyone not like my stuff, but fine. And you'll see her pull out from her pocket, and it looks like a purple solution that's in a elixir bottle. And she pops a cork and drinks it down for a moment. Okay. Ugh, sometimes it just really tickles. She'll walk over and she'll go, you've got to bend yourself so that I can tussle through your hair again. Undoing a work that was fantastically done. And she will start tussling her fingers through your hair, and then whoosh. And she'll go, there it was, back in the 1820s.
Thank you. And Theo will lean over and whisper in her ear, and I'm just going to message you, Junie, but I'll do that after stream.
God damn you.
Nope, not even
Just-
the audience
just-
gets to learn it.
Damn
Nope.
it, anyhow.
Some secrets are better kept for everyone. She can gossip about it later if she so chooses.
Oh, she's totally
Very
going to tell
well.
Taylor later.
Oh, God, hell yeah. So as she fixes up, and here's the thing, she'll look at Theodore like, really? You really need to turn around and get yourself counsel. Plus, honestly, a little bit of confidence. I think you look hot in the other way. God damn. And then she'll walk over to Taylor.
Okay. She looks to Raspberry, and then she looks to the members of her coterie present and says, anyone who does not want to witness a Bahari ritual needs to leave. But all of you, for being true friends, are welcome to witness.
He's going to thank you. This is your business, though. And he's going to take Bells and get up.
Magnus just smiles and nods to her and does not move.
You will take a longing, loving look at the magic plants for a few seconds longer, quickly run his fingers through his fixed hair, acknowledge everyone, and then also head out.
Okay. Everyone else is staying. I mean, Mark stays. The
of course.
the sisters stay.
Yeah. Because they're Bahari.
Exactly.
And she says, sisters, join me.
And they do.
And she basically goes through a rite of blessing of sisterhood within the Bahari and looks to Raspberry and says, you, sister, wish to have your own garden. But first we must fertilize the soil.
And you actually see several plants that are not holding those two bodies go into said pit.
Mm-hmm. Let their demise be that fertilizer. And she actually hands her sword to Raspberry. Remove their heads.
Raspberry takes a sword. She's never held a sword before. So she's trying not to look completely incompetent. The sword is a bit heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of is like, sure, give me a second. And she'll pull another elixir out of her back pocket and drink it.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, dice. And she'll walk over, and it almost looks like she's got the strength of at least a very powerful Bruja. And it's a clean double swipe right there.
Mm-hmm. And the plants will release as the ashes start to form into the pit. And she looks to Raspberry and say, may the mother bless your garden. Tend it well.
She nods, and she'll go, I'll do the best I can.
And Taylor just approaches her and gives her a kiss on the cheek. And takes her sword back.
No offense, this was really, really heavy, but thank you.
You're
Damn.
welcome.
How you guys carry those things? I don't know. Thank God there's a gun. And as the bodies ash, the Tremere will let a couple of the other, it's kind of like a bush, will just go into the pit and they will quietly start growing. You'll see the ivy start to come up.
And she will approach the Tremeres and say, if any records of his are found, I want them. I want to know what the church is doing.
They both nod and say, oh, we do too. And you can tell Theo we will give him treasure and books. I'm sure that's what he wants.
Yes, he just wants anything, blood sorcery he might have known, because it's known that Arden was self-taught.
Yeah, we're not exactly thrilled with that. Plus, he was attached to the House of Gartrax.
Yes.
Who knows what they've got?
Exactly. And that's why Theo wants it.
Oh, they look at each other and go, we know.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. We'll take care of that tonight.
Excellent. Thank you. And thank you all for answering the call.
Of course. Why would we not?
And she just smiles.
And as this is going on, I want a quick sidetrack to Spotter and Theo with bells. And as you go up, what are you guys talking about?
Actually, Theo would have gotten your attention for a quick second, Spotter, as everyone's walking back up to the actual surface area. Did you end up finding a good spot for the signed cards?
Oh, yeah. I can show you. Am I, Haven?
Oh, certainly.
It's actually right next to Wrigley, so pretty easy to find.
All right. I'd love to come and look. I know that the book with the liners wasn't the most expensive part of it, but I didn't know if you had a display case or something that you were using.
No, but it was easy to get one. No, thank you, though. Again, thank you. So he just kind of rubs his eyes as they're going up.
You ain't gonna blow anything up.
It's okay, Bills. There'll be other nights.
Promise?
You've opened the front door.
Yes.
And you were very impressive being able to identify various explosions by sound alone.
Neat.
My dad was a miner.
Oh.
It shows.
It was good times.
And to answer your question, my ghoul is a chemist. She can probably very easily craft some old school dynamite for you.
Yes.
So if you can supply material, I can happily supply you dynamite.
Trust me, there's some limestone I've been trying to collect, and I can't collect it in the normal way. So that would be appreciated.
I'll get her started on it. It'll be a nice side project.
Sweet.
How many sticks?
Do you mean how many crates?
I don't know if it'll be that good, but
Dr. Smith, her answer to that is yes.
Yeah.
As much as we can, then. I don't think we can get you even one crate just yet.
Oh, trust me, I will tow you. I will show you the waves of the boom, and you will then forever go with boom. Hey, the Bahari might have their thing with plants. I have a thing with boom.
Mm-hmm.
If we can mix them together, it'd be great.
Exploding plants.
You know what? You want a freebie, Dr. Smith?
I will never turn one down.
That's what I used to do way back when. World War I. Booms. That's probably why Bells and I get along so well.
And as you guys get to the car, I'm sure Taylor and Magnus and the rest of the people, are you guys all coming up?
Oh, yeah.
Is there any conversation you two wish to have while you guys, and I mean, the plethora of NPCs what you have?
Is there anything Magnus would like to say after witnessing the ritual?
It was beautiful.
Thank you.
I haven't seen that kind of togetherness in a long time.
Oftentimes our gardens are a bit disparate. But when it comes to supporting one another, the vast majority of us will.
Reminds me of when I was alive. Being a soldier, even more so being a ranger. They had a saying back then, one riot, one ranger, but if something came along that just one of us couldn't handle, they sent out the word and we all came running.
Exactly. That is how we do it. I sent out the word, and look what came. And a young one gets to start her own garden now.
I think she'll do well.
I think she will too.
And I will say what was it? The werewolves called it the worm taint should be cleansed and not expanding.
Exactly. Arden obviously never left the Sabbat, as he claimed.
Mm-hmm.
I had a temptation briefly to leave him staked, but put just a drop of blood in him to make him aware what I was doing to him. But I was like, no. He already knew.
Do wish we had learned something from that panda, though, first, because Arden was around for a while before this happened. The panda, as far as I've been able to tell, showed up recently. The Kaitif said that none of them could really remember much about him. He had messed with all of their minds.
He was Kaitif. Maybe he had the power to dominate them.
I think so, but it was interesting talking to them because from what they said, both they and he did not consider him to be Kaitif. Considered him to be a pander, as though that was a separate thing. I don't know enough to know whether that's important, but you probably have a better ability to look into that than me.
I'll find out what I can. I'll find out what I can. I never spent much time in Sabat Holdings. But many of my sisters have been on the outskirts of them, within them at times, and will have information. I'll put out a call.
I just want to know if we're going to start facing more Sabat incursions, because
That's why I wanted to get information from Arden about what the church is doing, because where the church goes, the Sabat follows.
And as you're talking, you do reach the top to see where Spotter and Theo are. And Bells. Bells is packing up all the C4 right now.
I'm
Much
so
to her dismay.
sorry that you didn't get to blow everything up, Bells. I will find something for you to blow up soon. I promise.
I hope so. I specifically made sure that these have lavender scent when they blow up. Because you wanted them so pretty. You guys were doing all these pretty things, and I went, let's just do some lavender scent with some purple sparkles.
Okay, you had glitter bombs. That's fantastic.
I mean, you
I
could have
actually-
these guys go everywhere.
I actually think we might have a use for that.
There.
Several, one of which is please don't use them against us. I beg you. Cleaning
No.
a club when it's covered in glitter would be a nightmare. We already have to clean up after all the various performances.
From having spent time around them, Araya would be particularly sensitive to that kind of explosive.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
And
Oh,
you both will be happy to know that I'm going to be working out a deal, so my ghoul will be making some dynamite for Bells here.
I can make it even more lavender scented and glitter
Gosh,
packed.
I haven't seen old school dynamite in so long.
I know, right?
Please come by. Emma will be showing myself, the household, and me.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Sorry it wasn't more exciting, but
I sort of like that compared to some of our previous efforts.
so do I. After all that's gone on, I actually could use something easy once. Just once.
Yes.
And again, full compliments to the blood sorcerers in your ranks. Those plants were very impressive.
One does gently rumble by your feet, Theo.
And he'll just give an acknowledging nod like, yeah, I see you.
Do we know if he lost anybody?
I haven't heard yet. I'm sure I'll get a full report by tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But those, if that's the case, we will honor them. Have you found out anything about the pit where they were doing supposedly shovelhead activities?
No, well, that's the thing. Bastion and I went down there, and they were mostly empty when we got there. There were 2 left, but they went with Bastion.
Oh, okay.
They were completely out of it. They had no idea what was going on.
When was this, Spotter?
It was Storyteller. What day would it have been? Or Wednesday, right? Was it Wednesday?
It'd probably be Tuesday, just before Wednesday.
Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday.
So none of us have heard from Bastion since Wednesday.
Where's
Oh, yes.
Bastion?
He never showed up. And when I spoke to Cordelia, thinking maybe he had gone to the court to deal with his little Rose project, his little proteges, she said that he was there on Wednesday with them, and then he said he had a meeting and left. And nobody has seen him since, as far as we can tell. We tried to track him, followed a crazy trail around the city, but he apparently, according to Aurora, was in a car with tinted windows, which you and I both know Bastion does not have a car.
No, he doesn't.
We have a license.
He was with someone in a car with tinted windows, but he was driving apparently because he drives like a madman.
As someone said, he drives with the music on the radio.
And he says he can't dance, so it was probably erratic as fuck.
Yes, it was.
We doubled back on the trail several times, just trying to follow it consistently. So either Bastion was being incredibly erratic, or his passenger in the car with him was telling him to be.
I have an instinct on who that might be.
Anything we should be worried about?
Who's fucked with him already?
That's what I was worried about.
I suppose I was trying to manifest it being something else, but if that's what's taking him away.
She's probably fucking with our interests.
Makes sense. Take away our sniper before a big fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shame she didn't realize how connected our dear Dr. Hammond was.
I like being underestimated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Spotter, can you ask your family to make sure word of how connected Dr. Hammond is doesn't spread? That a different story about tonight goes out.
Anything in particular? But
it was a brutal fight. We barely survived.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
And then maybe also take away from any Lilin leanings, if at all possible.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, that I
Elle's
don't
kind
care
of-
if she knows.
Elle kind of puts her head out going, you mean it was an epic battle to the point where we almost faced death?
Yes, exactly.
And Bells blew up no less than 3 packs, taking them out.
Yes.
Promise?
Yes, promise. That's going to be the story. Because you're a badass.
Okay, so I don't need to tell anybody because we just told the biggest gossip in the Nosferatu.
And you'll take care of it, won't you, Bells?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
By the way, I've spoken to Spotter, but you're here,
okay, sure.
and you're
Yeah,
the
hi.
biggest gossip in the Nosferatu.
I mean, I know a lot of things. I would never gossip.
I need to try to find out which one of your people might have told someone that would have told Karlak about my recent experience.
Karlak.
Former Justicar, Prince of Prague.
Don't know.
brouhaha,
Usurper Prince.
usurper
Still
prince.
don't know.
But
Jackass from what we've heard
yeah,
about him.
needless to say, somebody told somebody that told him.
Well, I mean, anyone could have told anyone to tell anyone. Okay. She kind of takes out a Hello Kitty pen and opens up a non-subscript Hello Kitty pad. She writes down car-like, but she spells it phonetically, not the actual proper way.
Mhm.
And she'll go, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll turn around and I'll ask the person who told me. And then from there, I can then backtrack.
Perfect. Just let me know.
Question is, do I tell the lady that was floating in the water?
You saw the lady floating in the water.
Of course I saw the lady. She came to me.
She did.
She and I talk a lot. She's a nice lady. That's how I knew Pretty Lady was in danger.
Fascinating.
Why? You don't talk to her?
I've never spoken to her, but I saw her that night.
Oh, yeah, she was really, really nice. She told me about Edith. So that's how I knew how to find Edith when she was in problems.
Wow.
It must smell really weird about it around you. I felt the track and everything, and it didn't smell really like at all like Michigan. Well, it did smell like Michigan, but it didn't smell like Lake Michigan. But a tie between the two. There was like another water source around.
The Thames.
What's that?
It's a river in London.
Oh, I thought Denial was a river in Egypt. Okay.
Denial is a river in Egypt. Yes. I've recently
Sure.
told that to Spotter. Yes.
Wait,
and
you
it's a
didn't
lovely
know?
river. I've sailed it. Yes.
I knew something before Spotter did. Oh, I'm so excited. Yes.
But yeah, yeah, it was a mix of here and home because
well, that
that's where I was
explains why-
born.
That explains the weird accent. It
It's
was
different.
There was a foofy pretty accent, like English nobility or something. She was really nice and polite. She didn't make any fun of my face or anything. I liked her. Give me a pat on the head.
The Lady in the Lake.
It was the lady in the lake, but at the same time, it wasn't the lady in the lake. It was it was a blending of two people.
Mm.
It was cool. So why I couldn't smell. Look, the lady in the lake has a specific Lake Michigan smell. This lady did not have the lake. Well, she had the Lake Michigan smell, but she didn't. So you say Thames. That smell makes sense because she spoke like an English lady. Like, oh, hello, I know the
Taylor takes something out of her purse, and it's the locket that Evie gave her. She opens it, and inside is a portrait of her mother holding her as a baby.
Oh, that's the lady. It was nice. Well, she didn't tell me to have crumpets or anything, but she understood what I was.
It was my mother.
That was the lady.
She closes it, puts it in her bag. And
The
she
lady
says,
like always find somebody that you need to help you in your time of need. So you needed your mom. I think that's cool.
yeah. Well, gentlemen, please have a good evening. Oh, and Theodore, my Tremere sisters have said that they will make sure that you get any ritual-related materials from Arden.
Fantastic. I wasn't even looking for that much. It's just House Goratrix have certain documentation that we've been trying to get our hands on for a while.
Mhm.
So
Now, I fully expect they will likely look over it first, but
certainly
you will get it. And yes, and being that he was supposedly self-taught, it might be fascinating.
Yes, because there's very few self-taught thaumaturges, and the ones that are have unique ideas. Case in point, Mel Davis.
Yeah. So, well, Bells, thank you for that explanation of that enigma in the lake.
Sure. I mean, if you want to talk to her, you let me know. I do a little thing to kind of call her.
Do you?
When I need problems solved or I need somebody to talk to, well, it gets lonely at times when you're only working on clothes and nobody talks to you. So you turn around and I go to the lake and I do a little thing and then she comes and we sit down and we chat while I sew. Give me somebody to talk to so I don't feel so lonely. Y'all are so busy. I don't want to bother you guys. So I think it's okay, Hey, I find somebody to talk to, and sometimes it's maybe somebody a little bit drunk. Maybe there's somebody that needs a little bit of a shoulder to cry on, but they don't look at what I am. But with the Lady of the Lake, I can just show who I am, and I don't have a problem with it.
You are spectacular, Bells.
I
Michelle,
try to be.
Bells, you reach out anytime you need.
Okay.
If I can't talk to you, then I will find a time.
Promise a baseball game?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to meet Mark and Azima outside now. So good night, gentlemen.
Have a good night.
Anything else you guys like to cover before?
No, did I happen to get a text from a certain Venture Primogen about his weirdo coterie mates running around outside her property?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll head up that way.
Mm-hmm.
If you can drop me off there, it'd be fine. I appreciate it.
Anywhere you two would like to go before we dissipate into the ether?
I'm just a Tremere. I'm good.
Okay.
Good.
So as Taylor goes with Mark and the lady that I can't remember because her name's already gone out of my head and I apologize.
Azima.
Thank you. She will head out with them. Spotter gets dropped off to see his lady, and Theo and Magnus decide to drive around crazy into Chicago with Theo's proper haircut tonight. This is where we'll end the scene and end the episode. Thank you guys all much for coming. Thank you to the players. And I can't do all of the things that Mama says, so I'm just going to let Mama do the thingies. And here's Jazz Hands.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And of course, you can join us on the Discord. That is where we hang out when we are not streaming. And we do occasionally do some Zoom hangouts when we're not streaming on Friday and Saturday nights. So hopefully we'll be able to do one at some point when one of our Friday or Saturday night streams goes on a break. And of course, we do post casting calls to our Discord. So if you want to play at a table with us, then you need to make sure you're part of our Discord community. Right now, there are no open casting calls, but there will be some coming at some point within the next month or two, because we do have some more new games starting as we get into the new year. So yeah. Make sure you're part of that. And of course, you can check back episodes on the YouTube. Oh, thank you, Mojito. We're glad you liked the episode. Yep. And thank you, Astral. But yeah, check us out on YouTube. That is where our back content is stored. We have the back episodes of this game, as well as so many other games, y'all. We've been doing this for over 5 years, for real. So tons of World of Darkness content, tons of other TTRPGs as well on the McStabber Studios YouTube. And of course, if you like D&D 5e, Call of Cthulhu 7e, or 7th Sea, which just finished earlier, you can check that out on the London Esoteric Society YouTube. Make sure you go to both of those channels, give them a free subscribe on YouTube, click the little bell icon to get notifications on YouTube when we post new content. And if you're watching videos, a free way to support us is to like the video and comment on it. Doing both boosts us in the algorithm when people search for TTRPG content. And it costs you nothing, just a little bit of time. And if you would like to get some merch, boom, you can go to our Zazzle store. That is where we keep our studio merch. And some of it is based on chronicles and campaigns and things that I've run in the past on our channel. I haven't done new merch in a while just because I've lacked the spoons to do it, but you can check out what's there. We have some really cool stuff. And make sure you're signed into Zazzle if you want to check it out, because we do have some things that are listed as mature or adult because they have swear words on them, like our Camp Wish a Motherfucker Would Camp Counselor t-shirt. The Church of Cain realized that they had arrived in Camp Wish a Motherfucker Would. because Taylor rallied a fucking army.
Yeah, unfortunately, they got their cabin assignments really efficiently and fast.
Head counselor at Camp Wish a Motherfucker Would. So check out that stuff there if you're interested in studio merch. But please do also give some follows to our friends, such as Judy Von Ish here. What you got going on?
Well, I like to strangle yarn. I like to make things, and I like not to make sure I wear orange or get put into a place where there's no Wi-Fi, music, or anything else that I can do. So I turn around and I make these things. They're fantastic. They're great. I don't know why. It's
Love
cute.
the little firefly.
I'm making this one is in 3mm. I have one that I'm making in 4mm, and this is going to lead into Ravenous Archon because coming Thursday, I'll be wearing two of the things I've made. One is a infinity scarf, and this little buddy is going to be petted on stream as my firefly companion.
Yes, I love it. So, yes, that leads us to Ravnos Archon. He does TTRPGs here with us. He's our resident mage storyteller. He's also run Old Gods of Appalachia with us. He's done a number of things with, and he's a player as well in a number of our streams, but he also runs games on his channel. So please go give him a follow. Please. And then, of course, we have Mischievous Reg. She does stream sometimes. She's actually planning to stream tomorrow. You need to be part of the Discord server, though, to see when she goes live, but do give her a follow. Yeah, Ravenous Archon, you do get around. You get around. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Around and around and around. My God.
And then, of course, Rerolls. He played Kajai with us. He is also streaming on his channel. Not currently this month, but next month they are planning on starting up some new content, some new TTRPGs. So do go check him out and give him a follow. And of course, DM Daddy RPG is where you can check out Jen of Thieves. She sometimes runs games there herself and also plays in games there. She's just joined us in Kansas City as a new player, but you've seen her in multiple games with us. She's amazing. Yeah, so definitely check her out over there. And so, yeah, and coming, I think, hang on. Oh, I forgot. If you would like to support our players, you can do so by showing your biddies, y'all. Bits and donations are distributed amongst the cast of our streams, and if you would like to support the studio itself, you can do so by subscribing here on Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription a month, and you might consider giving that to us. And as I said earlier, you can support us for free by going to YouTube and liking and commenting after you subscribe to the channel on videos that you watch. Another way that you can help support us is to buy Mama a coffee. Go to our KoFi page and support us there as well. That way Twitch can't be an awful pimp and take half. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And coming up over the next week. All right. We're down. We were running 5 games there for a couple weeks. Now we're down to 4. So we've got on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Maddox here is ST for Changeling the Dreaming Stained Glass. Yeah.
I think this whole episode was just Junie getting revenge on me for Changeling. That's what it feels like.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, yeah, just know vendetta is cyclical. That's all I'll say.
I'm aware.
It's just a circle.
A flat circle.
A flat circle. So that's Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Junie's in that. I'm in that. Ravnos Archon's in that. Mischievous Red's in that. Cozy Core's in that. Eevee Eternal's in that. Oh my gosh, y'all. It's craziness. It's craziness. It's oh my God. My poor Ishu. She's about ready to be like, fuck this place. I'm leaving for good.
You know what's extra annoying for her is that it doesn't feel like she should leave yet. That's the worst part.
She's like, I am at my wit's fucking end. This place is too fucking banal. I gotta get out of here.
And yet, the whole reason everyone knows each other started with an explosion of glamour.
I know, right? So that's Wednesday.
Explosions.
Thursday, Delta Green, 8 p.m. Yeah, Brad's running that. It's starting off already. Just, yeah. But check that out for real. And then Friday, 8 p.m., Kansas City, Domain Divided. The war is on, y'all. War is on. Mm-hmm. Cat
New
done
York
went into the
2.0.
heart of the fucking Sabbat domain after misdirecting both the NOS and the Sabbat and fucked with their shit. And now we're probably going to see her brother.
Goddamn time.
I know, right? So check us out Friday at 8 p.m. for that. And then, of course, Saturday, we have not a double feature. Just is taking a little break for a couple weeks. She'll be coming back with London Esoteric Society in a few weeks, though. So, but 8 p.m. Eastern Saturday, we will be back here with Vampire the Masquerade, Chicago Hidden City. Mm-hmm. And last but not least, I want to tell y'all, please take care of yourselves. Please. Things are rough right now. And if you are currently in crisis right now in chat, there is a list of organizations you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If those organizations do not suit your needs, you are outside of the U.S., or you are watching on YouTube, please go to findahelpline.com. There you can search by your location and find the crisis resources available to you, and that hopefully will help you with your need. And know that those lines are often staffed by people who are experienced with similar crises. They want to help because they know no one person is an island. We all need help. So please, utilize those resources if you need them. And I'm Mom McStabber, I'm a registered nurse. I'm going to tell you, please get your vaccines if you have not done so. I don't know how much longer we'll be able to. And please take your meds, drink your water, get some sunshine, and please get checked out if your health is a concern to you. Please. Don't ignore it. Get checked out. Because finding things early means that you can have a better quality of life longer. Okay? So please take care of yourselves. And lastly, I'm going to say, there is a certain segment of individuals that can fuck right the hell off. Those people are those that have voted for the felon that's about to be inaugurated on Monday. The folks that voted third party as a protest, see how that turned out. And those that abstained from voting when they were perfectly capable of voting. You can fuck right off. You are not tolerated, not wanted. Leave. Said with all sincerity. Have a good night, everyone.